zones of regulation. So the idea of the cool down corner, I think, kind of came from there, and it was just something we did at my old school, and I saw a lot of kids really be able to focus a lot more and to take those needed breaks.
When you're feeling like in the yellow zone, like you're feeling silly, or if you're like feeling like mad, or if you're like crying, you can go in there.
We go in here and then we set this timer. It's at 3 right now. We have to keep it there and then hit this green button right here.
The first week of school, I sat down with them and we explained what everything was. We wrote these expectations together. We did some practice with it, and then throughout the time I give kind of reminders of when they can use it.
Like it has like this little thing. This is where like all the tools that can like help you calm down.
And it's the pillow, this and this, because like watching this fall down is like really satisfying. And like you can like build a box with this, so that's really cool. And like this is really cool because it can like change color.
I think it stops kids from being as overwhelmed as they might get, knowing that this is an option, that they can take that quick break.
A lazy 8 is like, one side is like breathe in, and then the middle is kind of like a hold, and then the other side is like breathe out.
There's a big impact in that they can just take that break, and it's not really that much time out of their learning if the rest of their learning is still better than it would have been without the break.
It makes us feel like calm, so we're not like overreacted.
If they needed that 3 minutes to not work and the rest of it's good, then that's worth it. I think overall the impact is really helpful for them.
A lot of what we were talking about is students in third grade don't really rehearse their writing a lot. What we were finding is that when they did like talk it out, they had more to write about. So we were trying to make it safe so they know that they can rehearse anytime they need to. If they need to do it with a partner, if they need to do it over their fingers, like think it out first before you write it down.
We've been working a lot on like small groups and small grouping, which has been really helpful for me because that's something that's a little bit newer. Those were students that we had noticed that are having trouble with the structure of a literary essay, so having their claim, then going into the reasons to support it, and then having evidence to back it up in that elaboration. So we pulled them to give them another way to think about it, planning on their hand, and then going into tomorrow, we're pulling those kids again who that didn't work for them to try it another way.
You were teaching us about how to write about characters. I wrote and I did evidence in my writing piece. Here's my writing.
She has been able to give me a different way of thinking about it, where when I do it right next to her, I automatically turn, I'm like, did I do that right? And she'll always just ask me, well, did it work for them? And it makes me think and reflect on like, well, yeah, it did, so that was good, or no, it didn't. Now I need to think, what do those students need? Because obviously they all need something different.
And then afterwards we kind of reflect together and go, okay, did that work? Do we want to tweak it? Is there something else that will work better for them? Or do we think they need another go at it? Or do we think they're doing pretty good?
I mean, everything that she helps me with is amazing. Like, I always think, no teacher's ever going to be perfect, so there's always more we can do, and it's really cool to see from different teachers what they do.
She's a really good teacher.
Yeah, how come?
Because she's nice and she helps students, and she just never gives up.
The growth I've seen from Layla from last year to this year, I think has been significant. Last year we saw more isolation, and through the community circle we've seen just her open up. She's been able to practice different social skills that I don't think would have been readily available to her if it weren't for the community circle. This year it's just been significant. Such a significant change, and we're just so proud of her. And Layla and Maya perhaps were both feeling somewhat isolated, and that community circle has now brought them together because of the things they talk about.
Both of those girls were sharing in community circle, and Layla was sharing something personal to her, and Maya jumped in because she realized that Layla was starting to get uncomfortable. She was realizing she was sharing something personal, and she was like, Layla, that's not weird. That's so cool, actually. And you watched Layla perk up, and I see that transfer not just from our community circle, but them doing that during work time.
In community circle, it's like really helping me because I get to practice my social skills, and it helps me get to know one another in the classroom, and it helps me with my social skills.
So I think like the attitudes and the mindset that they're creating starts in community circle, and it's starting to transfer into academic time as well.
So we usually have like a certain greeting, like a wave, or like we have this thing called a shoe game where you saw there when we put the shoe in, somebody has to give it to them and say good morning. I say good morning back and I smile.
What's been really cool in our community is we started talking about topics just like, what's your favorite color? What'd you do over the weekend? And now it's blossomed into the conversations that they've been able to have, like the one we're having today, about what's really frustrating us within our classroom community. So it's impacted them that they can be reflective on how they're affecting other people, and they can be reflective as how we can change and take it upon ourselves to make things a better atmosphere.
Working with all kids in the classroom has been a super awesome thing this year. One thing that I've tried to do is try to pair kids up that work really well together, rather than me being the teacher, kind of having other students take the lead in certain times. As being the special ed teacher, I've been able to kind of take a step back and let other students lead, to give them an opportunity to be that teacher, and the other students then view them as a friend, and it helps the connections grow more.
I help Ben A, and he has a special needs problem where he can't speak, and he has this certain way of communicating where he has like two cards. One's green and one is red, and it says yes and no, and you can like ask him a question and he'll point to it for the answer. It makes me feel really good because he always smiles and laughs.
Cassie is somebody who knows Ben as from Southwood Glen, and so whenever he is in the classroom and we have opportunities and he's doing well and it's easy for him to be in there, she's been somebody that I'll ask for help.
For my collaboration with Ms. Feller, it would be like we'd work on lessons, but we'd also work on ways that we can help the students work together to work on things. I do think because of Jade and I, how we believe in the students and how we are patient and we try to be kind and understanding at all times, I do think that is reflected in how the kids act towards each other. I think if they see us working together and how important that is, and then they realize how important them working together and being kind is, we model what we want them to see. We lead them by example.
The impact on our collaboration together has made it so that both of us can work with any student in the classroom. She truly values that every student is hers, and that makes it a lot easier for me to feel like it's a team, and I like that aspect of it.
Saber Manufacturing is kind of this company that us students run here in the metal shop. We make products out of the stuff that we have here, and then we sell them at craft fairs and to individual customers. We also take orders from companies who want us to make parts for them.
So Saber Manufacturing is our new metals and manufacturing capstone course that started this year. We kind of revamped the curriculum to start our own student-run manufacturing business. The impact on students has been really incredible. I've noticed a change in how they approach their projects, They know that what they're working on is for somebody real. They know that a real customer is depending on them. They care about deadlines. They care about the quality of their work.
We had to learn to work together to actually get the orders done. Saber Manufacturing helped me get an apprenticeship as a water jet operator for a company that makes racks for like chroming and anodizing materials. I probably would not have had that opportunity without Saber Manufacturing.
My friend Amber and I have been working on like more Christmas ones for the fall craft fair. So we made some cool trees and like reindeer and stuff.
Personally, I do feel pretty accomplished when handing off a customer their product, because you really think about how, wow, I just made this and I just gave someone something that I just made and they're happy about it.
You know, it's a real world experience in every way. And I've really noticed that they have come to understand the value of communication. They're working with each other, helping each other, solving problems together as a team, because they have that shared goal. It's no longer, this is my assignment, that's your assignment. It's this is our group, this is our business, this is our assignment.
I think it's a very good program to take because it gives you more skills in what you want to do in like manufacturing, CNC, computer-based stuff, welding, all fun stuff. So it's a fun class.